This is from TikTok. Use a creepy video uploaded by Carnifer to share the personal experience of a single mother, Ayla X. In September 2024, Anle moved into a new home with his children. This house used to be the seventh below the Presbyterian church of the next church. It is said that there is also an ancient cemetery and natural water source. At first, when visiting the house, the door suddenly slammed and the doctor watched it. At that time he only thought it was the wind and didn't care. But after helping halfway, he began to hear strange footsteps and inexplicable whispers frequently. Lonely, unusual shadows flickered in the room. One evening, a strange knocking sound came from an empty dark room. In the film, her big teddy bear's feet can be seen swinging up and down for herself. When she checked behind the curtains, she found that there was no one there. After turning on the lights, a strange shadow appeared on the wall, which made people shudder. Since then, strange phenomena have continued. One night, a remote-controlled truck kept hitting his door. He thought it was a child playing with the truck, so he went to the child's room to check. He was surprised to find that the child had already fallen asleep. He also tried to control the truck with the remote control, but it was unsuccessful. Some deep night yari. Kes heard the sound of toys in his son's room, but when he entered the door to check, his son was still mature, and the stationary giraffe's legs moved in. Alex begins to suspect that these phenomena are related to the special history of the house. But so far he can't be sure whether this has something to do with supernatural forces. What the truth is still an unsolved mystery. Do you think this is caused by supernatural phenomena or other factors? This is from TikTok user. The bizarre films uploaded by the 4 major villas document a family's riveting encounter with supernatural events. On December 19, 2024, a boy was seated quietly on the living room sofa while the TV hummed in the background. Suddenly, he jumped up from the sofa and rushed out of the room in horror. The child was so frightened that he ran into the nearby bedroom, crying and telling the horrible scene he had just seen. His father immediately checked the security camera in the living room, and the result was creepy. The film shows that in the corridor camera, a blurry dark grey figure stood quietly beside the boy in meditation. When the boy woke up and noticed him, the shadow slowly dissipated into the darkness. Ponf never existed. The sound in the ghost film was deleted, but the atmosphere in the scene was still chilling. What's even more bizarre is that about a week ago, when the boy's parents came home late at night, they found that Gianni was full of shadows. It's not the first time that such a strange thing happened to his son. The boy's mother believes that someone may have eaten witches on their family, especially since he recently moved out of a house where supernatural events happened. But those mysterious forces still seem to be in hot pursuit. Is it a domain phenomenon or a coincidence? What do you think? This is from TikTok and Tiger. The weird video uploaded by the fucking Godman shows a horrible personal experience. Madison is a young mother who has lived in this house since she was a child, and she has frequently encountered strange phenomena. He often heard mysterious sounds coming from the house, although he was sure he was alone at the time, and this had been going on for years, especially at night, and she always felt that something was wandering around one night. And when Madison heard the low rain coming from the kitchen, she immediately picked up her phone and took a shot.
Voices echoing in the kitchen. To just meet in here. Right. Explain.
When she entered the kitchen, she heard a vague sound, and then clearly captured the sound of barefoot running.
When?
When he stepped back and wanted to see more clearly, a strong fear stopped her. Over the years, she has tried many times to uncover the truth of these strange phenomena, but this shooting made him creepy. What's even more frightening is that the film shows a black shadow that seems to move quickly behind the door frame, and then disappears mysteriously. The strange movement of this shadow is completely different from the way normal people walk. Madison is convinced that this mysterious shadow is the spirit that has plagued him for many years. He may have been lurking in his home all the time. Is this film really a 01 phenomenon as he said, or just a coincidence?
Your own life or something.
This is from TikTok user. A disturbing video uploaded privately reveals his horrible encounter with supernatural forces. Chickson died of one of his close relatives, telling that he often dreamed of a tall, shadowy figure, was injured in the dream, and woke up. Bruises appeared on his body in the same position as in the dream. At first, Gawain didn't believe this under pressure, so he thought it was a coincidence. However, he told that his relatives died unfortunately, and he began to dream of the same shadow attack in grade 2 and grade 4 of high school. When he woke up, she was bruised all over her body, but because of her these types, there were sick patients. He attributed these injuries to illness and other reasons in psychotherapy. When Gauci also mentioned these dreams, psychologists suggested that he go to sleep in order to find out the abnormal situation. So, he opted to set up a mobile phone video, but ultimately didn't capture the eerie image of the Ronin.
Otra vez está mamando con la puerta del puto mueble. Me desperto porque escuché como que algo pegaba. Ni siquiera hay puto aire, no se mueve la cortina. Chequen cómo no cabe nadie ahí.
One night, her wardrobe door opened by itself, and two pale faces were faintly visible inside. When she checked, she found nothing. She began to suspect that these phenomena were closely related to the diet in her dreams, so she installed a 24-hour surveillance camera here. In a video, his body exhibits fierce movements during sleep, struggle. It was like a nightmare, and then an invisible pressure pressed down on his chest. As the night market camera suddenly turned off automatically, when it was turned on, a big-headed substitute figure flashed and quickly disappeared. It was very similar to the shadow he saw in the wardrobe. Gower's divinity, this was some kind of terrible curse, which was passed on to him with his relatives. Does this film confirm the paranormal phenomenon, or is there another reason, do you think? This originates from a TikTok user. An eerie video uploaded by Christmas777 shows paranormal phenomena captured at a family reunion. On December 27, 2024, Chris spent the new year with family and relatives in their new home as they recorded a warm dinner on their mobile phones.
Imant, a name that resonates.
Force. In the moment. Everyone is happy. When laughing and talking. In the film, a childlike figure appeared and quickly crossed the room. Strangely, the figure seemed to float in the air, and the lower part of its body gradually faded. It didn't look like a real child at all, and there were no children present at home at that time.
Up. Latin is well maintained, which is why the partners a moral was in Parliament's keeps. Keeping with the pronagogue Tiravaru, a Nasala is indeed a... I still know, and you know him, Pierce. He was particularly noted from the nose for Keljainai News Ali Wafo, making it impossible. In related news, possible Viratra is how one attempts to access Aki ecstasy.
Thinking this image is unusual, Chris updated the video later. Record more details, shocking the whole family, and being content with the new house that they have only moved in for a few months. In another film, family members gathered to celebrate Grandma. On her birthday, a family member walked off the picture of Grandma, sitting in front of the cake, surrounded by laughter. However, when everyone was focusing on singing the lyrics of the birthday, the shadow of a little girl suddenly rushed behind her grandmother and instantly disappeared from the picture. After the film was retracted, the shadow was clearly seen in the form of a little girl, but no one at the scene noticed anything unusual and chilling. Grandma once had a little daughter. Died young due to health problems. Is this mysterious shadow Grandma Wang, your soul coming back to spend your birthday? Or some evil spirit imitating his 401 phenomenon or other reasons? What do you think?